Welcome to the special youth edition of Sharing Our Cultures. On today's show, you'll meet remarkable young people who are going to share their cultures with you. Our first presentation is about France, and it's by Juliette Mini.
Hello, my name is Juliette Mini, and I am doing a presentation today on the tradition of the Galette des Rois, or king cake in English, in France. So the Galette des Rois is a cake it's based with puff pastry, and it's stuffed with a filling of usually marzipan, but there's also, like, this one is a chocolate version. You can have apples sometimes, or fruit and cream. There's lots of different things that go inside of it. And the tradition is that inside of the filling, there's a little, we call it a bean in French, or a fève, because they used to put a real bean inside the filling of the cake. But now, it's evolved to become little porcelain figurines that are going inside the cake. So it's a religious tradition, so it's usually celebrated as part of Epiphany, which is either the 6th of January or the first Sunday after the 1st. And so originally there were little more religious figurines, like a little wise man or something. But now there's lots of different types of figures, like this one is Krusty the Clown. There's some more classic ones like Snow White, a little Smurf, a little car, lots of different options. But the person who finds this little figurine in their piece, they become the king or the queen of the day. So they kind of get the glory for the day. They get to wear like a little crown. But it's also their job to make the next year's cake, or where it gets interesting is that they can also choose to do it the next week. So in France, in my dad's family, one year it went all the way till Easter, because every week they just chose to do that the next week, and it went on for a really long time, and it was quite funny. So there was a celebration in ancient Rome called the Saturn Festival, and so they believed that there was this god Saturn who is the god of like disorder. So they believed that if they had a servant become a king for the day, then they would kind of like mess up the god Saturn, and then he wouldn't play any other tricks on them. So that was kind of like how they made sure that nothing bad happened in their year. And that tradition kind of keeps going, and it's turned into more of a Christian celebration for Epiphany, which is interesting. So to separate the pieces, to give everyone an equal slice of the cake, since sometimes when you cut into the cake you can see which one has the little figurine in it. The tradition is that the youngest person in the family hides under the table, and each time a piece is cut, they'll name a guest to get that piece. And so before handing out all the pieces, the cake is cut into the number of pieces that there are people, plus one. So that piece was like traditionally given to like the first like person to come by afterwards. It's called the like Parle du bon Dieu, so like the piece for like the goodness of God a bit. There's also a lot of different countries, not just France, that celebrates. There's French-speaking countries that celebrate it, like Switzerland, or like in Canada, Quebec also celebrates it, but there's also other countries that have their own version. So in Portugal, or in Spain, or even in Greece, they all have their own version. This one is the one from Spain, which they call the roscon, and instead of being made out of puff pastry, it's more of a cake, maybe like a pound cake that's covered in dried fruit. There's also the south of France that has a bit of a different tradition, which is right up here, and they call it a brioche, but it's a sweet bread that's orange blossom water flavored, and so sometimes they'll put like some sugar or like some almonds on top, but it's a bit of a different tradition there. Thank you everyone for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures, the Youth Edition. You just watched a presentation about France. Now you're going to meet the creator behind that presentation, Juliette. Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures, Juliette.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And now we'd really like to find out more about you. So tell us, why did you decide to do your presentation on France?
Well, my father is from France, so there's a lot of traditions that we have in our household that come from France, and I thought that it would be really interesting to do a project on that and share that with people.
Okay, and so why do you think that's important for you to share your French culture?
Well, I find that especially in Newfoundland, it's really a minority of French here. And French is one of Canada's official languages. And it's a lot of people, when you say that you're a French Canadian, they think that you're from Quebec, but they don't think, oh, maybe you're from France or you're from another province, you know? And so I think it's important that like there's a lot of different cultures inside like that one like French culture, and everyone who speaks French has a different version of it, but there's things that we all have in common, and so I shared my perspective a bit.
Okay, and that was fascinating. We just watched it. Thank you very much. Yes, and something else we'd like to find out about you is your interest in languages. So tell us more about that.
Well, my aunt is Portuguese, so about 4 years ago in 2018, I decided that I wanted to learn Portuguese. And I've always really wanted to learn a language, so that was a bit what inspired me to start. And then a few months ago, in January, I decided that I wanted to learn Spanish. So now I'm working on my 4th language, and it's kind of my goal to like get to at least 5. It would be really awesome to be a polyglot.
All right. So why do you want to be a polyglot?
Well, you know, the whole sharing our cultures thing, cultures really fascinate me. And like there's more than like 7,000 languages in the world. And it's really amazing to think that like every single language and like there's cultures inside of those languages. They all have their own ways of doing things. And like by learning other people's languages, like I can communicate to them better. And like I feel like it's different. There's a quote which is that like you can speak to a man in a language he understands and that goes to his brain. But if you speak to a person in their language, that goes to their heart. And I really wholeheartedly believe that, and I think it's important.
Yeah, that is true. I do agree with you as well, that it is important because people can express themselves in the language of their heart even a lot better than a language that they've learned.
Absolutely.
Right, yes. Now, I know you're very passionate about so many things. You're a musician as well, so tell us what instrument do you play and why did you want to play that instrument?
Well, I play the accordion, and I always really liked the accordion when I was little. It was an instrument that really fascinated me with the buttons and the opening and closing. And so when I was 8, I started taking lessons, and so now I play traditional music on the accordion, and I've played at different events like the folk festival or even sharing our cultures. So
that's great. So was there anything you found challenging when you were learning to play the accordion, or now that you play the accordion?
I think that a big challenge is that a lot of people don't know, but like accordions are a bit different when it comes to like playing with other instruments because, well, there's a set key. So my accordion is in C and G, but if another accordion wants to play with me, it's not so simple if they're in D, for example. And it also, we don't follow like sheet music, so it's not traditional sheet music. So if we want to play with another instrument, it's not always easy to coordinate.
All right, so you play more by ear,
yes,
so to
yeah.
speak. Okay,
yeah.
All right, that's great. Now you're passionate about so many things, but what do you enjoy spending your spare time doing?
I really enjoy reading and cooking. I'm also really passionate about the environment.
Okay. Yeah, tell us more about that. Like, so what do you do with that passion that you have?
I am part of a program called Well Outside, and I have more than 120 volunteer hours of helping out with different things regarding the environment. I've been part of different beach cleanups, helping at community gardens, things like that.
Right. Okay. So do you think there will be different things you will do in the coming days, coming months?
Yes. Well, there's the annual cleanup that's happening with our group in a little while. And we also are planning on doing some more cleanups, maybe on the East Coast Trail or things like that.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here today and for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. Our next presentation is about the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it's by Divine and Bahati Kabasele.
Republic Democratic of Congo is the second largest country in Africa. It's surrounded by 9 borders, which is Angola, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and Central Africa. Democratic of Congo, there is 86 million people live there. So in Congo, we have 242 languages spoken there, and the top 3 languages is Swahili, French, and Lingala.
Here to talk about our traditional clothing, we have different clothes, we have different materials for those who are poor, for those who are rich, and for those who are not very rich. So we have different material for everyone. One of the material, like the one that I'm wearing here, and I made it by myself. So like this one here, it is for those people who are poor. Like if you can see it, it is not that. This one, for those people who are poor, it is like $5 for each. It has like 3 pieces, and those 3 pieces you can make like 2 pieces to wear and 1 for the top. And this one here, it is for those people who are not very poor, in the middle. Like here, you can, it is like $80. That's how they sell it. And if you can see this one here, this is for those people who are very rich. It is like 100, 150, it depends. And if you can see here, it has its own logo down here. That is show that it is original. And this material, it is for like, for those people who, if you want to honor someone, or if your daughter got married, if your wife gave birth, you buy her this one. Even men can wear it, it depends on how you want. So this is how you wear this. You wear this material. It depends. If you like to put it this way, it depends on which hand do you use. So for me, I use like this hand, like this one. I will not like close it very well because, yeah, so this is how you wear this clothes. If you have the top, like mine here, this is how you wear it.
Our food in Congo, we have different meals. In breakfast, we took this one here. We call it beignet. Here we call it like timbiti and nuts in breakfast. At lunch, we took sweet potatoes, potatoes with beans, meat, rice. It depends on how you want to eat it. Or you can eat it with fish. In dinner, we took like, we can fry meat. You can make fufu, which is flour, and you can eat it dinner. So in dinner, we used to eat also like pondu, which we call here cassava leaves.
In Congo, we also have music. Because we have different languages, and everyone in Congo, you can sing in your culture, in your language. So we have like people who come from East, people who come from the capital city. Like this one came from East. He sings from people who are in East, and this one too. And this one come from capital city. Yeah. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Asante, and thanks for watching our tradition food.
Welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures, the Youth Edition. You've just watched a presentation on the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and now you're going to meet the 2 students who created that presentation. First we have Bahati. Hi, and welcome to Sharing Our Cultures.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Okay, and Divine.
Hi.
Okay. Now, Divine, I'd like to find out from you, or both of you, when did you come to Canada?
We came from August 2019.
2019?
19, yes.
So you came in August of 2019. And what has it been like for you? Like, what did you see were the differences when you arrived here between the culture from where you came from and the culture here?
I found out that the culture from here is different from the culture from Congo.
Okay.
I say that because, like here, they have different cultures. Like for them to show that you respect someone, you have to look at someone. You have to look eye contact.
Contact. You gotta make
Sorry
eye
for that.
contact with
Yeah,
them.
you have to make eye contact. So, and for us in our culture, it's different because when you look to someone who is older than you, it means that is like, it is not a respect, and for us it is not good. Secondly, like calling someone who is older than you, calling that person on name, it is not good in our culture. So if someone is like the age of your father, you have to call that person like Papa in our culture, like father, or you can call sister if that person is like your sister's age. If it's like your mommy's age, you have to say Mama, yes, Mom, something like that.
But you can't just call their first name.
No.
That's okay. And I know sometimes here people do insist that you call them their first names, even though they're much older, you know, than you are. All right, now let's hear a little bit from Bahati. Now, Bahati, first of all, I got to say congratulations. You got a scholarship to go to Memorial University.
Thank you so much.
And we're really excited about that. So, yeah, what would you like to do when you complete university? What are your career goals?
First of all, I will focus like studying harder because I want to be a doctor or nurse. That is the things which I enjoy since I was young till now. And I want to accomplish that.
Yes, okay. And we are lacking doctors and nurses in Newfoundland and Labrador, so we'll be looking to you to fill the skills shortages there. And now that you are thinking of what you'll do as a career, why is it that you've always felt you want to help people?
I want to help people because obviously we belong in community and those people need us.
Okay. Yeah, and so you want to be one of the ones out there in the community, community helping them. Okay, thank you. Now, Divine, you have a large number of interests and talents, so I'd like to hear some of them.
Yeah. First of all, I like to dance culture dance. So culture dance is I like to do it, and I like to sew, and I like to make hair of someone. Okay. Yeah, I enjoy doing that. Even I like to do makeup more. So yeah,
You're kind of into the fashion.
Yes, fashion thing.
Okay,
that's what I
we need
enjoy.
that too. And actually, you did your own hair yourself, and yes, and in the presentation you told us that you. So the dress you actually have on now, and you've made a lot of them as well, and then the dances, the traditional dancing. Okay, so how much different is that from the other places where you've been? So you lived in Uganda for some time, but you were from Congo. So was there much difference between the two countries in terms of your traditional culture and traditional dance?
Yes, in Uganda they have their own traditional. Like for them, they do things from Uganda. For us, we do things from Congo. So when I saw that in Uganda there is no culture dance, so I decided to say that let me create the culture dance. Like it was like Congolese culture dance. I had to create that. I had to call other people who I was doing, like we were in tailoring. So I just called them and we talked together and we created our group. So yeah, we started dancing from Uganda. That's what.
Okay, so you are a real leader. Like you got everybody together and said, hey, let's form a group and let's do some dancing.
Yeah, because I saw like in Uganda, there is just Luganda, Luganda dance, Kirundi dance. So I said, there is no Congolese culture dance here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you took the initiative and started the group and did your Congolese dance, and I've seen some beautiful photographs of that as well. Yeah. So do you think this is something you would like to continue, like that tradition, teaching traditional dances?
Yes, I enjoy doing that.
Yeah. Okay. And Bahati, what do you think would be the best way in which we can help young people like yourself feel welcome, feel at home here, be able to share their culture, you know, and connect with the community? How can we do that?
I think, first of all, a lot of people come like with hard mental health because when they come here, so they have to face many things which they don't face in their countries, like languages, school, church, so everything changes. So if you want that people to feel like they belong there, so you have to approach them. First know what are they feeling in their hearts, and then so when they're open, I think it will reduce like their mental health days and they will feel like they belong here. Example, like it was me, when I came here, I was like, oh my God, this is as a place, new people, new things, new traditional, new culture, and that was very hard because when I'm in school, so like people won't see like you belong there because you have first like different skin, and they will see like, no, you belong for yourself. But when we start like talking about mental health, because I'm in a group of mental health in my school, and then they feel like, yes, everyone belong here, and there is no place for black or white or from here and here, and we feel welcomed.
Thank you so much, Divine as well, and we're really looking forward to the great things that you will do in the future.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
And sharing our cultures, we'll be right back. Our next presentation is about Romania by William Egli and Shaheen Labib.
Hi, my name is William Egli. I am from South Africa, and my mom is from Romania.
And my name is Shaheen Labib, and I'm from Egypt. So we decided to do our project on foods in Romania, but more specifically polenta and sarmale.
Romania is a country situated in southern Europe with a vast population of 19 million. The main language spoken in Romania is Romanian, and one of our main dishes, which is called polenta, consists of cornmeal, water, and salt. For my mom's recipe, she uses only 1 liter of water, 200 grams of cornmeal, and 1 tablespoon of salt. This can be easily made into this lovely dish right here, which only takes around 30 minutes to make. For polenta, you can eat it with many different ways, such as potato toppings, feta cheese, goat cheese. You can also eat it with tomatoes and fresh basil. And for a lot of people, they like to also have it as a dessert, which is a lemon cake right here.
Now sarmale, which is over here, is actually considered to be Romania's national dish, but that's originally from Turkey. So it's basically cabbage rolls. So that's not an easy dish to make, but if I could summarize it into 3 steps, basically. The first step is we prepare the filling. So that's usually like rice and seasonings and different meats and stuff. And then we prepare the leaves. Then you prepare the cabbage and you roll all of that stuff up. You put it in the oven to bake, and once it bakes, you pour this like red tomato sauce over it, which is what we see in this picture right here. And that's also good to be eaten with Greek yogurt and sour cream, or sour cream really. And you could also have it like as a side with bread or freshly cooked polenta. So that's everything for our presentation. Thank you for listening.
And mulțumesc, which means thank you in Romanian.
William and Shaheen. And now we're going to find out a little bit more about them. So welcome to Sharing Our Cultures, William.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And tell us, why is it important for you to share your culture?
I find it's important to share my culture to expand people's knowledge and give them a better idea about where Romania is in the world and what we do as a culture.
Okay, thank you. Now, Shaheen, you were partnered with William to work on Romania. Why is it important for you to do that and share the Romanian culture together?
Well, I feel like it's like good to let people know like kind of what they do and like what's good in their culture, because it's good like for the world to know really what goes on in multiple people's cultures, because if you're like in one place at once, you don't really know what's out there. It's just good to know.
Right, well, that's great. And you've been participating in Sharing Our Cultures for how many years now?
3 years
This is
now.
your third year?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that you usually switch because Shaheen, you're from Egypt.
Yes.
And last year, or prior to
Yeah,
the year
due
you
to
did
COVID.
Romania, you did Egypt.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the friendship between the two of you. Like, when did you meet? How did that develop? And where you are now?
So we met when I moved here from Egypt in 2011, so grade 1 for us. And we've kind of always been friends ever since, so it's been a long friendship.
What is it that you enjoy about each other's company that you think have, you know, led to this long-lasting friendship?
I feel like we have the same hobbies, because like we've just like done like all the sports and all like the extracurricular activities together, and like after school we've done that together, like the after school program at our school.
Okay.
That's not really a hobby, but like our hobbies are like very similar, so it's just always been like together.
Okay, now I know you
Yeah.
play sports, William.
We
Which one?
have the same schedule often for everything we do.
Yeah.
We always make jokes with each other, hang out after school, go for drives. Yeah.
Right. So when I think about young people coming to this province from different parts of the world, what do you think would help them to feel welcome, to feel a sense of belonging, to be able to develop the kinds of friendships that I see between you and Shaheen?
Just that they need to know that there's always someone with open hands that will welcome them in, and see at this as this organization will do,
Okay.
meet everyone from different countries as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
All right then. And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. A special thanks to our guests, Juliette, Divine, Bahati, William, and Shaheen, for being with us today. Join us next time for more remarkable stories about our young people who are making a difference in our community.